So now is your opportunity to use this sheet again to vote. Timer, can we get 5 minutes on the clock?
Yes.
We may not use all of that time, but I just want to make sure everyone has enough time to fully and thoroughly evaluate. Okay? No.
Okay.
No.
I have opinions about it.
Okay. Yes. I know we're a club that focuses on speaking, but if you can also tally up the total at the bottom, that would be very helpful for our judges. You can definitely use a computating device.
Just a
Computing device?
A calculator?
Sure. If you're done, you can also use this time to, for the first speaker, you'll see at the top says first speaker. You can write Christina's name and then one point that you thought was awesome that can be continued and an area of growth as well, one of each. Once you finish that, you can fold it up and send it over to that wonderful corner, to that wonderful man, Kyle, in the black shirt.
Okay.
Is it?
Thank you.
So it looks like we have 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go.
Nice. Starts Monday.
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready or not? Speaker number 2. J.P. Barber. Speech title, The Idea of Application. The Idea of Application, J.P. Barber.
Yeah.
We ready?
Yes.
Who here has ever had an enjoyable or great experience at the DMV? Hands?
I did.
Okay, one. We have a few. One time.
Never.
I had a very harrowing experience, as usual, but it was through these unsuspecting circumstances that I learned 2 things: being tenacious and dealing with ambiguity. So this whole story starts off 3 years ago. I was 17, and I wanted to get my driver's license. There was 2 things that were really pushing me. All my friends had my driver's license, and I didn't have one, and my mom and dad were tired of driving me to school every day. So for me, it was very obvious that I had to get this done. So what I did is I went online. I went through all the courses. I learned, right turn, left turn, green light means go, red light means stop, all the basics. And after that, I scheduled my appointment, and I took my written test. I passed. But when you're under 18, you take your written test, and you wait 6 months, and then you take your actual driver's test. So I had 6 months to actually prepare, go on the road with my dad, and practice, get ready. And so for every day, for about 1 or 2 hours, my dad would take time off of work, and he would go and drive with me in his 2004 Honda CR-V. We would drive everywhere: Long Beach, Dana Point, went to Irvine, Costa Mesa, even drove all the way to Los Angeles. And I'd kind of get used to driving around, and I'd get used to the right turns, left turns. I'm sure you all get the idea. So here comes the day of my test. And I scheduled a DMV appointment at 1 p.m. I walk in, and apparently I don't have all the paperwork done. So I have to my dad has to drive all the way back home, get all the paperwork, drive back. And obviously my nerves are gonna, they're gonna tense up a bit. I don't like this anxiety. I don't like to have to wait. It doesn't help. But I get back, 2:30, awesome. However, I'm pretty sure you all know the DMV, it's not a great experience. They're terribly understaffed, and they're terribly underpaid and underfunded. So I had to wait for my 1 o'clock appointment. I had to take my test at 5 p.m. So I had to wait 3 hours in a waiting room filled with 45 other people trying to take the same driver's test, waiting for that one instructor until he was ready. So then comes the driving test. I drive through, and I do everything perfectly fine. Calm, even though there was some problems, I was calm, and I was cool, and I was collective. However, at the end, I needed to make a right turn on red. And you stop, you look, and then you make the right turn. However, I turned right, and as I was about to turn right, there was an oncoming car coming right behind me, and my instructor just screams, "Stop." And so I stopped. I let the car go, and then I drive all the way back to the DMV depot. And the driver tells me, "Mr. DeBarber, I'm really sorry. You didn't pass. It was that right turn on red. You should have let the oncoming car go. And because I had to interfere, you're failing. You failed, and you have to take it again." And that's where dealing with ambiguity comes in, is that there's all these factors. When I practiced with my dad, we simulated an actual test. We emulated what it would really be like. He would get in the car, he would have like his chalkboard or whatever, and he would write down all the turns, left, right. We would practice everything, but we never really got to practice anything that would come up, like waiting in line, or that right turn on red and all of a sudden an oncoming car comes in. And the bigger point is, you're never really going to be ready to actually do something. I'm sure you all know job interviews. Maybe you're waiting, maybe some sort of proposal, maybe a marriage proposal. There's always some sort of event that defines you, and you have a plan about how it's going to go, but it doesn't always plan out the way you think. So I always say, get ready to get not ready. Be prepared to be unprepared. The only thing you should be ready for is the fact that you don't know what's coming next. So after I failed my driver's test, I was really depressed. I was sad. I was almost crying. I went home, went to bed, and my dad woke me up at 6:30 a.m. And my dad never wakes me up. I mean, let me get this clear. He never wakes me up. He wakes me up 6:30, has keys in his hand. He's like, JP, we're going. And so basically we drove all the way to Anza Borrego and back, and he taught me everything I should know about the car, getting used to the feeling, going off-roading, making right turns, maybe some hints about kind of looking to your left a bit, or some ideas about how a car turns. Even learning how to jumpstart a car. He taught me everything. But here's the thing, is that he taught me to be tenacious, to never give up. I failed. The next morning, I got back up and I was ready to go. I think some of us are lucky enough to have goals in life, have aspirations, but also sometimes we never hit those aspirations. But what's the most important thing about those aspirations is if you don't get them, keep working hard, keep going forward. If one knockback makes you want to quit, then maybe that goal isn't for you. That's what my dad would always tell me. And it really drove me so hard that I took the test in 2 months and I passed. My whole point is dealing with ambiguity, dealing with tenacity, that's kind of my underlying story. But really kind of the white elephant in the room is I took the wrong turn at the wrong time, but I still ended up in the right direction. Thank you.
Timer, can we have 5 minutes on the clock for evaluation and judging?